Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Atlar.
Ever feel like trying to keep track of your business's finances is like, well, drowning in a sea of different bank portals and spreadsheets?
Oh, tell me about it.
But what if there was a way to bring all of that financial data, all of it, onto one sleek, easy-to-use platform?
That'd be something.
That's what Atlar's promising.
Interesting.
So we're diving deep today. Deep into how they are, or at least how they say they are, revolutionizing how businesses manage their money.
Yeah, it's a really interesting idea,
Yeah.
especially for companies that work internationally. They often have to use a bunch of different banking platforms,
For sure.
different currencies, different payment systems, you name it.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for disaster. I mean, you're bound to run into problems, errors, wasted time, you name it.
It's true. And time equals money, right?
Exactly.
Atlar, at least from these materials that I've seen, is setting themselves up as like the ultimate financial command center. They use phrases like, replace banking portals and a single source of truth, which is ambitious, to say the least.
Very ambitious. But, I mean, when you think about the issues they're trying to fix, it makes sense, right? Like, imagine you're a CFO, right?
Yeah.
And you need to make some big financial decision. But before you can even think about making that decision, you got to gather up all the data from a dozen different sources. It's a nightmare. That's what Atlar wants to eliminate.
Gotcha.
They want to take away that friction. And they want to give these businesses a real-time look at how they're doing financially.
Okay, so less time with the spreadsheets, more time for big picture stuff. I like it.
Exactly.
But how does it actually work?
Yeah.
One of the things I saw in here was real-time cash visibility.
Okay, so it's not just about putting all your data in one place. It's about making that data, making it actually do something.
Right.
Making it dynamic, right? So with Atlar, instead of waiting for like a monthly bank statement or doing it all by hand in a spreadsheet, you can see all of your global cash positions, all your accounts in real time.
So no more logging into a million different banking portals just to see how much money you have?
Exactly.
Okay, sign me up. Right.
And that real-time visibility thing, that actually impacts a lot of their other features too, like their simplified payment system.
Okay, tell me more about that, because that sounds like it would be amazing for anyone who has ever sent international payments or had to reconcile transactions.
It can be a nightmare. So imagine this. You have to pay a vendor in Japan.
Okay.
Right. So instead of going through this incredibly complicated banking system and worrying about exchange rates and all those fees, you can do it all through Atlar.
Wow.
They take care of the currency conversions, they make sure the transfers are secure, and you can track every step of the process, all from one place.
So less time trying to understand Swift codes and more time, actually running your business.
Exactly.
Okay, that is a good sales pitch.
It is.
But how do they actually make this happen? Are they like financial wizards or something?
Well, I don't know about wizards, but they've definitely put a lot into their technology.
Okay.
One of the things that makes them different is their fully managed connectivity, as they put it. They've made direct connections with banks and payment providers and even ERP systems all over the world.
So instead of using all these different integrations from other companies, they made their own thing.
Exactly. And because of that, they have a lot of control over how fast it is, how secure the platform is, how reliable it is overall.
That makes sense.
They talk about using a combination of APIs, SFTP, and even EBIX.
EBIX, yeah.
Yeah, EBIX-ES. It's a really secure European banking standard.
Oh, okay.
All to connect to these different systems.
So this is some serious fintech stuff happening. Like, it's not just that it looks nice. They have the technology to back it up.
Right.
But let's talk about how this actually helps businesses, because they say things like analyze in seconds and rule-based automation, which all sounds good. But is it all just marketing, or is there something really there?
I think it's more than just marketing.
Okay.
Because remember we were talking about Atlar and how they give you that real-time view of your cash flow?
Right.
Well, they also give you ways to really look at that data,
Better.
without having to be like a financial expert.
Yeah.
Their reporting and analytics dashboard, it's supposed to be super easy to use. So you can create reports and track important stuff.
Yeah.
And even try to figure out, predict your future cash flow.
Oh, wow.
And you can do it all really quickly.
Okay, so no more spending hours and hours trying to make sense of spreadsheets.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. Okay, so what about this rule-based automation thing?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of cool.
It does.
But I need an example, something to help me, actually understand it.
Sure. So let's say you're a CFO for a company that does a lot of business internationally.
Okay.
You could set up something that tells you anytime there's a big payment coming in,
Okay.
especially from a new vendor.
Right.
Or, if your balance in a certain currency gets too low,
Uh-huh.
that way you can stay on top of things
Right, yeah.
and catch any potential problems before they become huge problems.
It's like, having someone watching your money all the time.
Right.
Making sure nothing goes wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it now. Automation like that could be a game changer.
For sure.
Speaking of game changers, these case studies you sent are pretty incredible.
Yeah?
Like Tibber, that smart energy company,
Yeah.
they said they saved 50 hours a month
Wow.
after they started using Atlar.
That's a lot.
That's like a whole extra work week almost.
It really is. And, it's not even just about saving time.
Right.
It's about what businesses can do with all that extra time.
Exactly.
Instead of getting stuck doing the same old things,
Yeah.
finance teams can start thinking more strategically,
Okay.
like looking at investment opportunities,
Yeah.
finding ways to cut costs,
Right.
things like that.
Exactly. And then there's Sellpy,
Selfie, yeah.
the secondhand clothing marketplace.
Right.
They managed to connect all of their bank accounts
All of them.
globally, which is huge for a company doing business in 24 different countries.
Yeah, because managing international finances, it can be so complicated, right?
Oh, I bet.
All the different currencies
Yeah.
and regulations
Yeah.
and banking systems.
Yeah.
Atlar makes it simpler.
Okay.
He gives you one platform, and you can do everything from there.
It's like they created one language that works for all of finance.
Exactly.
No more getting lost in translation. Okay. And then there's Loomis Pay.
Loomis Pay,
They saved 120 hours a week.
120 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's like having a whole other team.
It is.
I mean, these examples really show how much Atlar is helping businesses
You do.
of all different sizes
Right.
and industries.
Yeah.
They have clients who are just starting out
Mm.
and big, well-known companies, too.
It's true, yeah.
It seems like they really understand what businesses need.
I think so. Especially now that everything's so global and digital.
Totally. But what about security?
Right.
Because I feel like if you're going to let another company handle all of your financial data,
Yeah, you got to be careful.
you have to be sure they're keeping it safe,
Absolutely. Security it's the most important thing when it comes to finances.
Totally.
And it seems like Atlar has really thought about this.
Okay, good.
They say they have enterprise-grade security measures.
Okay.
Things like encryption,
Mm-hmm.
isolated infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
really strong authentication protocols.
So it's really secure.
Yeah, they even talk about how important data privacy is to them
Good.
and how they comply with things like GDPR.
Okay, good. So it's not just about, stopping hackers from getting into your bank account.
Right.
It's also about making sure that all your financial data is handled the right way.
Yes, exactly.
Ethically, right?
Ethically, yeah.
Yep.
And they're not just doing the bare minimum either.
Okay.
They're really trying to build trust with their customers,
Which is so important.
especially in the financial world.
Yeah, totally.
It seems like they really get that.
Okay, so it sounds like they're taking security very seriously.
Yeah.
Which is good. But let's talk about the people behind Atlar for a second.
Okay.
They said they have support from some big investors like Index Ventures and General Catalyst.
Oh, wow. Yeah, having that kind of support from major venture capital firms,
Yeah?
that's a big deal. It means that these investors see something in Atlar.
Yeah.
They believe in what they're doing,
Okay.
and they think Atlar can change the way businesses handle their finances.
It definitely makes them seem more believable,
It does.
Like anyone can say they're going to revolutionize finance,
Right.
but to actually have the financial support to do it,
Exactly.
that's different.
It shows they're serious.
Yeah, it makes it seem like they're building something that's going to last.
That's what it seems like, yeah. And if you look at their team, they have a really good mix of people.
Okay.
Experienced entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
tech people,
Yeah.
people who have worked at big financial institutions and tech companies.
Oh, cool.
It seems like that combination of knowing about finance and knowing about technology,
Yeah.
that's what's working for Atlar.
It sounds like they have everything they need to be successful.
Right.
But what about the bigger picture? You know, where does Atlar fit in with the future of finance? It's like they're creating like the financial backbone for, the future of how we handle money.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting?
What?
When you think about all these trends we're seeing,
Okay.
like embedded finance
Okay, yeah.
and open banking,
Right.
makes you wonder, are platforms like this, like Atlar,
Mm-hmm.
are they just the beginning?
Oh, interesting.
Like maybe in the future, we won't even use banks the way we do now
Wow. Great.
to manage our money.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be all about these platforms
Okay.
that are designed for, certain things.
So, like, instead of using my bank's app,
Right.
I'd use Atlar to manage my company's cash flows.
Exactly.
And then something else to track expenses.
Right. Exactly.
And something else to invest, probably using some fancy AI to pick stocks or whatever.
Exactly. And the best part is all those platforms could be connected,
Oh, wow.
sharing data,
Okay.
automating all that boring stuff in the background.
Okay, so it just kind of, like, runs itself.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like the ultimate way to manage your finances,
That sounds amazing.
Right.
But also kind of scary.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, what happens to the banks in all of this?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
Maybe they have to adapt,
Okay, yeah.
become more like platforms themselves,
Okay.
offer their own APIs, partner with these fintech companies,
Okay, yeah.
or maybe they focus on the stuff that really needs a human touch.
Okay.
The stuff that's hard to automate.
Right.
Who knows?
So it's not like one thing wins and everything else disappears.
Oh.
It's more like the whole financial world changes.
Exactly. A complete reimagining.
Yeah.
And it looks like Atlar's in a good spot
Yeah.
to be a big part of that.
Totally. Well, one thing's for sure. The world of finance, it keeps things interesting.
It really does.
And with companies like Atlar, pushing the boundaries, it seems like there's a lot more innovation coming our way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And hopefully a lot less time struggling with spreadsheets.
Couldn't agree more.
That was a great deep dive. Really interesting to learn about Atlar and to think about the future of, how we manage money.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about. It's really cool to see companies coming up with creative solutions to big problems,
Absolutely. And for our listeners, if you are tired of dealing with a million different banking portals and spreadsheets,
I know I am.
you might want to check out Atlar.
Yeah, sounds like it could save a lot of time and headaches.
You can find all the information on their website. Until next time, happy diving, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.